Hi everyone, I have tried to film this video a few times now. I don't know what the fuck is going on, but I'm not feeling it. And the reason why I'm not feeling it might also have to do with the ADHD medication. But before I get into that, welcome to this video. My name is Ashna, and if you don't know yet, I officially got diagnosed with ADHD. You might not know if you're randomly on my page because I didn't mention it anywhere. However, on Instagram I posted that I officially got diagnosed with ADHD and I'm the happiest that I've ever been. This is definitely true. So in this video I want to share with you my experience, what I went through, like the process and everything emotional that comes with it, every information that I have. However, I do want to mention that all this information about the process, the medication, the symptoms, everything is obviously based on my own experience, all right? I am not a psychologist, I am not a psychiatrist, I'm not a doctor, I'm not anything like that, unfortunately. So I'm only sharing my experience, so your experience might be different, and if you have any questions, do let me know. I will help you as best I can. However, all the information that I'm providing is from my experience in the Netherlands, alright? So the Netherlands, if you don't know it, it's a country in Europe. It's a neighbor of Germany, and yeah, we have our own healthcare system, our own health insurance, you know, everything. So I will give the information for the ones that are interested in it, and I will try to help you as much as possible. So last year in 2021, I sought help for my mental health because it was not going well. It was very, not only unstable, but also all the things negative. Okay, I was not doing well. So I will post another video about the mental health struggles that I had and the emotions and everything deep that comes with that. This video is dedicated to the ADHD, and I want to say that I was the one who went to the intakes at the psychologist and mentioned ADHD, so it did not come from them. The reason why I thought I might have ADHD is because I was scrolling on Insta and I saw a post that basically mentioned a lot of the struggles that I had mentally and how that manifested itself physically. And I was like, oh my fucking god, this is it. Like, this is what I'm feeling. What is this? What is this post about? So I checked it, and it was an account about ADHD. And I knew about ADHD before because I had two boys in my classes in primary school and middle school who had ADHD, and they were very hyperactive and they were very loud and got into trouble a lot of the times. And I associated ADHD with those boys. But now I saw with that post and with more research as I looked through the Insta and I did my research myself, I realized that ADHD is so much more than hyperactivity and impulsivity, you know? And I realized that there's something that was called ADD, so without the hyperactivity. Now it is not called ADD anymore. There are now 3 types of ADHD that you can have. So it's still ADHD, but then the types might differ. So one is the inattentive type, one is the hyperactive and impulsive type, and the third is the combo. And yeah, I did all the research and I was like, oh my god, I really think I have it. When I already sought help for my mental health in 2021, I was not able to go to a specialized psychologist right away. Okay, here in the Netherlands, when you have mental health issues, if you are the one who is seeking help, you go to the GP's office, so the general practitioner's office, and there you talk to someone. Okay, I think in the past it used to be the GP themselves. I think they still can be, But in my case, I talked to the praktijkondersteuner GGZ. GGZ in the Netherlands is an abbreviation, GGZ, and it's basically mental health care. So I went to someone who was from the mental health care department, so she was specialized in that. So when I talked to the praktijkondersteuner, the goal is to understand like what you're going through, what are you feeling, what's going on, what are the issues, and you know, to actually have a how do I say it, preliminary diagnosis. Is preliminary the word? I will check, but you know, a first diagnosis of like what's going on. Are you feeling depressed? Are you feeling anxious? Are you feeling burnt out? Like what's going on with you? What is your life? What does your life look like? How are you feeling? And you know, all those details. And for me, it was very clear that I had a few different things that I was struggling with. I was struggling with depression, anxiety, so extreme sadness, extreme fear, nervousness, and I had PTSD, and I had issues with myself, with my personality, that I have had for years, which I was really struggling with. So I was in war with myself a lot. And the things that I was struggling with were clear. So what happens is that when you get this preliminary diagnosis, if the GP themselves or the praktijkondersteuner GGZ cannot help you, you will be sent, you will get a verwijsbrief, to go to the specialized psychologist. So I got this verwijsbrief, and I went, I couldn't go actually in 2021. The thing is that there was a huge waiting list. It's very busy these past few years at the mental health care facilities and stuff, and Corona can definitely be a reason why, but in general, you know, there are waiting lists. And if so yeah, the facility that I wanted to go to, they did not have room anymore for my health insurance. So the health insurance here in the Netherlands buys certain spots per facility. It can also be that they don't have a contract with a certain facility, so I will tell you why that matters later in the video. However, the thing is that they may or may not have bought certain spots at that certain facility. In my city, this is the one that I wanted to go to, and they did not have spots anymore. So I was on a waiting list, and it was up to me, the praktijkondersteuner, I'm just going to call her the therapist that I was talking to. The therapist, she mentioned to me, like, it was up to me. Do I want to call other facilities and check whether I can go there, or do I just want to wait it out, you know, keep having meetings with her to bridge like the time, and then go to the specialized healthcare facility, psychologist, in January when the new year starts. And I decided, also because I was just not able to, you know, call and arrange all that, I was like, no, I can wait, it's fine. So for the time being, to bridge the time, I went to the therapist, the general therapist, I'll call her, and I just had talks, you know, so sometimes I was doing better, sometimes I was doing worse, etc. In January, I called the facility that I wanted to go to here in my city, and they already had the go form from my GP's office, so they were able to schedule meetings with me. So these meetings, there were 3 meetings, those were intakes. 2 were with the psychologist and 1 was with the psychiatrist. And for now, it was not necessarily clear yet what was, you know, going on with me, and what the intakes will, what there will be concluded in the intakes. However, the psychiatrist was already on the agenda, just so that if you do need medication, the psychiatrist has a go and he knows you, he or she, and the medication can be, if you want to, obviously, then it can be started. So that was just the introductory meeting. So that introductory meeting was the third one that I went to. The first two, if we take a step back, the first two meetings at the specialized psychologist office was with the psychologist. And I'm talking now about the period of January, February of 2022, this year. And you could opt to either go in person to the office or to a video call. So I did video calls. So during the intakes, obviously, it's all about what's going on, who are you, what does your life look like, and obviously all the information that the psychologists need in order to get the diagnosis. So I had two intakes, and in the first intake, I mentioned that I think I might have ADHD. I explained why, and I received an online test to do, which consisted of two parts. So one part was ADHD symptoms in childhood, and the other part is ADHD symptoms in adulthood. And the psychologist asked me to do this and fill this online form or this online assessment in with a parent. So for me, my parents knew that I was in this process. However, I decided not to mention to my mom, who I did this assessment with, that this was specifically an ADHD assessment. Because I am Indian, so my background, my ethnicity is Indian, and there can be a lot of taboo in Indian culture surrounding mental health. My parents are very modern. I'm very lucky to have them and be so open, etc. However, I just wanted to make sure that there is no judgment when filling in these questions. You know what I mean? I wanted my mom to be as open as possible and real as possible. So I decided to tell her that this was just a general assessment to know me and not specifically about ADHD, because I also didn't know whether I had it right at that point. So I also didn't want to go into that whole conversation about it and explaining, etc., etc. The online assessment was on a portal online, hence online assessment. But here in the Netherlands, I guess there's always a portal for mental health care, and then depending on the facility, like it looks different or whatever. In any case, the assessment was on there. I did it with my mom, as mentioned, and the next day I had the meeting with my psychologist, and I got the scores, and he told me, so this was the thing, the scores of the assessment were based on two parts. So on one hand, inattentiveness, and on the other hand, hyperactivity and impulsivity. So the score was either from 0 to 9 or 1 to 9, I'm not sure. And if you have a 6 or higher, then you potentially have ADHD. So on the inattentive scale, I got the score of 9, which is the highest. And on hyperactivity, impulsivity, I received a score of 8, which is, also very high. So from that assessment, obviously the conclusion was that I might have ADHD. So I decided that I wanted to go through with the process, and the next steps were having actual interviews with the psychologist. So in that case, the psychologist will ask you certain questions, basically almost the same questions as the assessment, which I did online, but more into depth, and they write it down and they make a full report on it. And this time also a parent has to be with you, so my mom was with me, and it can either be one long meeting of like 2 or more hours, whatever is needed, but in my case it was 3 different meetings. and it was online. My mom joined, and so obviously by that time I did tell my parents that, you know, I am in the process of getting diagnosed with ADHD, and I told them obviously what it is. I told them how I've been feeling since I knew it, because everything about the process was positive for me. It was so positive because for such a long time I felt like I was not enough. I wasn't doing enough. I wasn't being enough, you know, because I had so much potential, but I want to do certain things, but I cannot. So I disliked myself in that sense, and I was disappointed and angry at myself every day. Corona, so 2020 till 2022, everything was made worse. So my symptoms were worse. I was extremely unhappy with myself, and I will go through all the difficulties and the mental health specifics in another video. But so yeah, as mentioned, I told my parents about ADHD, what it is, and how it has been positively affecting me, and they were very supportive, very happy to hear that I was doing better now. And yeah, my mom went with me, you know, did the interview, and I got the official diagnosis. I should probably say what the period looked like. I don't know from the top of my head, so I will put it on screen what time period it was between all the intakes and everything. I mentioned specifically to the psychologist that I wanted the process to be as quick as possible because I really needed help. Like, I really needed to get the official diagnosis, to get the official process started, you know, because this was still the intake. This was still figuring out whether I do have it or don't have it. And I do want to mention that I also got diagnosed with depression, anxiety, or anxiety being a part of depression, or I don't know. Anyways, depression, anxiety, PTSD, and it was up to me what process I wanted to start first with. I decided to start first with ADHD, so the intake, and also when I got the official diagnosis, starting with that process. I decided to start with ADHD because my depression and anxiety are highly related to my depression and anxiety. Or what did I just say? My depression and anxiety are greatly related to my ADHD. And so when I received the official diagnosis, I got started with the process. I, as mentioned, have been feeling so much more positive, so much more happy, and so much better in my own skin now that I have the official diagnosis. But even before that, like even when I thought I might have, you know, ADHD, because I knew, like, even if I didn't get the official diagnosis for whatever reason, I knew I had it. Like, it made me more gentle towards myself. It made me kinder towards myself. And yeah, I've definitely now had a mindset shift as well, where I'm finally doing things that I would normally just contemplate on doing and never do it, such as fake lashes. And I love it, you know. I'm finally living life, and living life and enjoying life is definitely something that has to be learned. Like, not everyone can do it. I couldn't, so I'm learning it now, you know. Be more spontaneous and enjoy life more. Where I want to say no because I'm like not feeling it, maybe say yes because I know I'll like it when I do it, or when I go, you know, somewhere. Yo, editing Ashna here. I am just working on the video and it's too long. It's 50 minutes. And I have decided to make it into 2 parts. I am very sorry, but some of the information, actually the information post official diagnosis, will be in part 2. So in this video you saw everything pre-official diagnosis, And this is going to be it. I'm going to post the next video as soon as possible, maybe even tomorrow, because there's no necessary reason to wait. So I'll just post it ASAP, and I just want to say that definitely, if you're interested, do watch it. If you have any questions that I can answer, please let me know. Also, by the way, yes, my hair has changed. So I filmed that video on the 17th of May, and then the 18th of May, which was yesterday, I went to the hairdresser and I changed my hair. I love it. I've never had it so, you know, this light. And I still have the dark in my hair. So it's a balayage and I love it. In any case, thank you for watching this video. If you're interested, please do watch the second one, and I'll see you soon. Bye!